Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just
snacks.
going to say.
That's where I go.
Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On the draw, this is Cohen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. They'll drop the throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll field this at the 5. Stays on his feet. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 18 carries, 115 yards.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
From the 27, Rosen. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right of the yard. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Eddie Goldman make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright. And
they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Oh, now Breida loses it.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Rosen to throw. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick, because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On third down, Rosen. It's caught by Parker. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Breida. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd and 1, Rosen. This is Johnson. He's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 14. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
This is Breida. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
And we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Breida, he'll try the right side. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come.
Touchdown, Dolphins. Randy Bullock lining up for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script, I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got it. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. So
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score on garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to it. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey.
Now a handoff looking right. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now a give coming right is Breida, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with blitz coming, and down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
58, right over there.
Now Rosen. And he will find his man on the outside. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Second and 1. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw. They'll leave it for Montgomery complete. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Go! 90 Wolf! You gonna see me in your nightmares, son! You gonna see me!
2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
On the ball! On the ball!
So we've come upon, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good-headed scheme going.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And that will be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
I don't think you got it, son. Kill. Now.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And it's 6-5-2. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Raekwon McMillan in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you continue to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Rosen to throw on 3rd down. He gets this one to Johnson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now it's Breida. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback on an expected passing situation.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. Completes it to Lee. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field.
Here we go.
It's a big-time play there for the Bears. And even 50 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. He'll drop to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Miami. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. They'll run forward Montgomery, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears cut into that lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Rosen. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from him.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Johnson, the intended target. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the catch made by Johnson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead now up to 14. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up the throw. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd and 3. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
60 Pittsburgh. 55. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this this is caught out for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Oh, did the Bears get it? They did. Chicago football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
He'll look to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He's back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Through an opening, and there he goes. And this defense has broken it open as they return to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Miami, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the